Hi. Um, I need to do a quick. I see I don't have so much space in my phone anymore. Okay, so here today's Tanis Esther, Ta'anit Esther, the fast of Esther. And what's really important about this day is that this is the day when things started to turn around for the Jewish people. It was a very serious decree. It didn't look like it was ever going to change. And in one moment, it went from very terrible. And this is a decree that is absolutely signed and sealed and decreed, and there's no way out. And the Jewish people are going to be destroyed. To LaYehudim Haita Ora V'Simcha V'Sason V'Ikar, a good time for the Jewish people, light and happiness and joy. So first of all, on this day, we are very much hoping that the same will happen today in terms of the war, in terms of the hostages. And in order to do that, we're going to do just like Esther did. Knos et kol Yehudim. She told Mordechai, go gather all the Jewish people all around the world. Vitzumu alai ve'al tochlu ve'al tishtu shloshet yamim laila v'yom. And fast for me, all the Jewish people all around the world, fast for me so that I can go in with the merit of all of you together, the unity that you draw and that you come together as one in complete compassion and complete unified worry and care for the hostages. Hopefully today everything will turn around, and that's happening today actually all together at once. The Jewish people around the world at 5:30 our time, which is 11:30 New York time, which is I guess it would be 8:30 LA time. Okay, so basically everybody's getting together and we're all saying Shema Yisrael together. If you want to see a link, there's also going to be something on the Ish roof, and it's going to be broadcast all around the world in English, something prayers for the hostages and the hostages parents or moms, or I don't know exactly who is going to be speaking. So that's something else. We're all going to come together and storm the heavens. And we were learning the other day, what is it that Esther said that kind of turned the tide or that switched things around? V'nahafochu, everything was overturned. And it says in Netivot Shalom brings that the parak of Tehillim, there's a parak of Tehillim, it's called the chapter 22, Ayelet HaShachar, Lemnetzech al Ayelet HaShachar. And in it, Esther, basically, this is attributed to Esther. This is apparently the chapter of Tehillim that she said when she was going into Achashverosh. And she was going into a very, very dire situation. It didn't look good. It looked like she was going to lose her spiritual world and her physical world, and it was not going to work out. And in fact, she walked into the palace and she felt like an energy had left her, like she felt like really bad energy that it wasn't going to work. Like she felt like she had lost her divine inspiration. She had lost that connection with Hashem. She just really felt like she was in a very, very dark place. And that's when she said this chapter of Tehillim. And in this chapter, it says, Eli, Eli, lama azavtani. Hashem, Hashem, my God, why have you left me? Why have you forsaken me? Now, of course, she knew that Hashem did not forsake her. And Hashem never forsakes anybody. And Hashem doesn't actually ever leave. But she was basically kind of yelling at Hashem and saying, why? Why did you leave me? Why did you make me feel like you left me? Why did you do this to the Jewish people? Why are you making the Jewish people feel like you have left them? And this is not okay, you know? And basically, it's interesting. He gives a nice story, a mashal, a metaphor to a child who is warned by his father, you're wearing your nice Shabbos clothes, your very expensive clothes. Please do not go play in the mud, in the puddles, outside, because you are very likely to ruin your clothes, get your clothes dirty, so on and so forth. And the kid goes outside and he plays in the mud, and Taka gets his clothes so dirty and ripped and torn. It's like terrible. His clothes are literally ruined. And he comes home to his dad, and of course his father's about to scream at him. or does scream at him. And there's one child, he says there's an example. There's one kid who basically would say, you know what? I'm so sorry. I really shouldn't have gotten. I know you told me to go outside and to be careful, and I wasn't careful, and I'm so sorry. And he would cry and cry, and finally the father would, let him off the hook or not punish him. But he says there's an example of a very smart child, and that child says and yells at his father and basically says, but you knew that I was going to end up going to play in the puddles. How could you let me go outside if you knew that I'm a child and I am the type of kid that's going to go play in the mud and I am going to ruin my clothes? And why did you let me go? Why did you let me go? And he keeps yelling at his father, you're the one who shouldn't have let me go. You can't let me go outside. If you know that I'm going to ruin my clothes now, I don't have clothes. What am I going to do? And the father is like so overcome by like, this kid is like really making sense. He's right. I'm wrong. The father starts feeling guilty. The father starts, did that ever happen to you? Like the kid actually makes you feel like it's your fault. But you know what? What happens with that father and that kid? The father tries to appease the child. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get you new clothes. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're right. You're right. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be fine. So the father ends up taking the role of the comforter, right? And the child is the one who needs to be appeased as opposed to the other way around. So what am I trying to say here? That's what Esther did. Esther went into the palace of the king and she was like, this is so horrible that how could you leave me, Hashem? This is not acceptable. You are our father. You can't put us in a situation where we're going to assimilate, where we're going to do the wrong thing. You gave us a Yetzer Hara. You gave us this like strong desire to do the wrong thing. So why did you even put us in this situation? It's your fault. Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us? And she keeps yelling and yelling until Hashem says, okay, I'm going to make it better. I'm going to change my decree. You're right, So I think that's really how we have to come to Hashem today. And it's not in a chutzpahdik way. It's just like, we know you love us, Hashem. We know you are our Father. You created us. You gave us these desires to do the wrong thing, to assimilate, to be involved in physical, needs and distractions. You caused this to happen. So you need to save us now. And you are our Father and you love us. And you are with us in this darkness. And you are not enjoying this any more than we are, So I think what we have to do today when we come to pray for a complete turnabout, a complete miracle, finding all the hostages, bringing them all home, marmash, getting rid of Hamas. And, I'm going to talk about that later. I'm going to talk about the Amalek thing as well. But like we have to say, Hashem, you are our Father. You are with us in this pain, in this darkness. You want things to turn around because you are so upset for us. You're so sad for us. You are our Father and you love us and we want to make you happy and you want to make yourself happy. So please save us. And halavai, that's what will happen today. Emir Tashem.